For a film I kind of went into blind, I gotta say I came out very much pleased, and I'm definitely excited to talk about this one. So let's jump into my review of the new film, Arthur the King, and let's start that review right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film Arthur the King, which is coming to theaters March 15th. So this film is brought to you by Lionsgate, and I just want to quickly say that, like, upon watching this film, I definitely thought this might have been like a film endorsed by Disney or brought to you by Disney or some sorts, because it gives you sort of that Disney vibe when it comes down to a film that has like feel good moments, tells a good story, is based on a true story, involving a dog or animal of sorts, and a big casting name. So that's not a knack at Lionsgate, but I definitely said, like, this very much feels like a Disney live action film of sorts here. But yeah, listen, going into this film blind, not seeing the trailer, not have read the synopsis, saw Mark Wahlberg. I was like, I haven't seen him in a while, and then I see that there's a dog involved. I'm like, all right, that's cool. Then I kind of looked deeper into the cast, and I saw Simu is in this, and Nathalie, Emmanuel is in it as well. And then this was based on a book, Arthur, the dog who crossed the jungle to find a home. I'm like, these are all things that are kind of intriguing to me. So I'm like, yeah, let's check it out and see what it's all about here. But yeah, going into this blind coming out, I was definitely pleased. I thought this was a good story. Definitely a really feel-good story. And I'm definitely going to break it all down, but I definitely went into a film blind, into a world that I'm blind about, because it is about pro adventure racing. I've never heard of that. I honestly thought in the beginning of this film it was just going to be kind of based upon folks who competed in triathlons, and it's definitely not that as well. But even if you've never heard of pro adventure racing, as a pro adventure racing or racer, they definitely have the educational bits in there as well too, to really catch you up to speed about the rules and the dangers and all sorts of different things involved with it. So it's definitely cool. It's a small learning curve, and it definitely keeps you at the edge of your seat the entire time. So I am going to spoil one thing, because for me, I cannot at all deal with any films that harm animals or any bit of animal to animal like deaths or anything of that sort. I just can't. And I know there's got to be other people that's like that. It's like, I'm not trying to see a film where an animal dies or whatever it may be. The animal doesn't die. So just to tell you that, like, yeah, Arthur, he doesn't die. So there's definitely a good, happy send-off in this film, a feel-good moment. It is family-friendly. You definitely don't have to worry about leaving with a broken heart or upset or in tears because of it. Yes, it definitely challenges that, but it ultimately doesn't conclude with that. So just to kind of, for folks who may be like, I don't know, man, I can't deal with a film where a dog dies or is hurt or brutally hurt. Like, listen, Arthur has some street beefs out there. Now I'm gonna tell you that right now. Arthur out here from the streets of DR. So, like, you don't have to worry about him not being a real one on that note. But nonetheless, he proves his keep as he becomes a fifth member of Michael Lights, who is Mark Wahlberg's team, as he looks to compete one more time over 10 days, 435 miles across the DR. Now, Michael Light's career was pretty much almost a wrap, because he was humiliated on the internet in a race, and it just didn't help him both emotionally and both externally, because this was put all over the internet and people thought his moment had passed and this would be it. But with that being said, he decides to fight and get back on a horse and compete one last time. And he puts together a team. He figures out ways to get money, even if that means, risking things with his family and his peers around him in order to do so. So, with that, he travels to the DR to compete. Simu's character is a social media influencer, original team member of his. He recruits some other folks as well in order to make this possible. And in this journey, he encounters a stray dog who really proves his keep more times than enough that he deserves to be on the team. But it catches the attention of the world because the social media coverage shows that he has a dog, and the dog is out here in the trenches with him, and they grow a liking to each other. And they grow a liking to each other because not only is the dog the only person that would eat Michael's meatballs, but because like he sees himself in the dog. The dog is a fighter, much like he's a fighter. And I think their stories are very much parallel because you go from somebody who was almost willing to give up, who had been publicly humiliated from his previous race, and a dog who's just on the street, who doesn't know where his next meal is going to be, and life is really beating this dog down. I mean, the dog definitely doesn't look like it has much longer to be on this earth, but the two of them fight to cross that finish line and for each other, and it's a really touching story. And I think like seeing that, you know, you always hear about the man and dog relationship, but like really seeing that on screen is a beautiful thing. And I think Mark did a really good job in bringing bringing that human element to this character, and somebody who was an animal lover, and somebody who was a team leader, and somebody who's a dad and a husband. Like, he really brought the humanity to his role and to this character, and it gives you so many heartfelt moments, and yes, the heart gets a little heavy at moments too, because like the dog has his moments, and Michael Light, the character, has his moments, and even his teammates have the characters, and them sticking together in order to compete at the Adventure Racing World Championship in DR. And what does that mean for all of them? Because everybody has something at stake, from, Simu's character being there and jeopardizing everything that he kind of had building, and how long could being an influencer survive if he's never won anything, and Nathalie Emmanuel character having some family challenges with her dad and her dad health issues, and Ali Suleiman's character who has an injury, and even folks are questioning his ability to be a part of this team. All these things are into question. They all fight for each other, along with Arthur, who's given his name because Arthur, the king, has king qualities, as he doesn't beg, but he definitely is there, even if he doesn't have a meal, in order to support his folks. And yeah, King Arthur, but he's Arthur the King. I'm sure there were some probably issues with the name of that there. I don't know, whatever. And there's even an Arthur Foundation as well too. So like, this is like a real story that has like really rich roots to it. And as I mentioned, like, it's a total feel good moment. Definitely moments that you'll be at the edge of your seat. There's like a ton of actions throughout this adventure, and certainly a good watch. I mean, this film breezed by. I'm not even sure what the runtime was, but it didn't feel like it at all. This was just a film that just gave you so much, and very easily to consume. Even just looking, the views over the land was just beautiful to watch as well too. So I gotta say, like, I enjoyed this film very much. Wasn't expecting it, but definitely did, and it's certainly a film that you want to check out. And hey, stick through the credits, because you got stock footage through the credits where you see photos of the family that everybody's portraying, along with the dog. So definitely want to make sure you watch all the way through for that. But yeah, definitely a good film, family friendly, good moments, and definitely moments you'll laugh, definitely moments you might get a little choked up, but definitely a feel good story nonetheless. So yeah, check out Arthur the King, coming to theaters March 15th. Folks, jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about this one once you do. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.